Greetings, guitar engineers. I'm Desi Cerna, and in this video, I want to talk about the Kemper Profiling Amplifier. I want to explain what it is and whether or not you need one. So this strange-looking device is called the Kemper Profiling Amplifier, and it's becoming more and more popular with guitar players. I have been using this in all of my recent videos and my instructional courses. So what is it? How does it work? And do you need one? Let's discuss. So the Kemper, as it's called for short, is a guitar amp. At least it's used as a guitar amp, but it has far more features than an ordinary amp. First off, it's digital. There are no tubes in this thing. It runs on software. Now, digital technology is not new. Digital amps have been around for years. But what sets the Kemper apart is its patented technology and concept called profiling. Without getting into all the technical details, the Kemper is not an amp modeler or an amp simulator. Instead, the Kemper actually captures the sound of real amps. It works like this. An amp is taken into the studio. It's set up, dialed in, and mic'd up. Then, the Kemper is added to the signal chain. The Kemper sends sounds into the amp that go out of the amp, out of the speaker, into the microphones, into any mic preamps or anything else that might be part of the chain. Then the signal returns to the Kemper. The Kemper software analyzes the sound and takes a kind of digital picture of the audio. This digital picture is called a profile. Once the profiling is complete, you can shut down the amp and you can play through the copy of the sound that is stored in the Kemper. When done right, the profile in the Kemper sounds exactly like the amp. Of course, the Kemper doesn't have any speakers, so in order to hear your playing, you either need to connect a pair of headphones or connect the outputs on the Kemper to a recording console or some studio monitors or a PA system. Now you might be thinking, what's the point of all this? Why not just use the amp that you started with? The answer is that the Kemper has many advantages. So let me explain. First off, real amps are loud. Amps need to be turned up in order to hit their sweet spot, and you're not always able to do this. For example, when you're playing at home in your bedroom or when you're trying to control noise on a stage. But with the Kemper, you can profile an amp at its sweet spot, and then you can use that sound at a more comfortable level. In fact, you could even use it silently if you're using headphones. This means you can get the same great sound you would get in a studio without disturbing your neighbors or taking people's heads off at the gig. Next, if you intend to record music or play live through a PA system, you need to mic up your amp. In this situation, you may not always have good mics available, or you might find yourself in an environment where it's hard to get a good sound. With the Kemper, you can capture the perfect sound of your amp in an ideal environment. Then you can call up that sound and you can use it everywhere you go simply by connecting your Kemper directly to your recording device or your PA system. No more mics needed. The next advantage to using the Kemper over an ordinary amp: ordinary amps are heavy. The Kemper is light. Next, the Kemper can store hundreds of amp profiles, so you're not limited to just using one type of amp. You can take a variety of amps with you everywhere you go. And you don't actually need to make the profiles yourself. The Kemper actually comes preloaded with profiles. And you can add additional profiles by buying them inexpensively from companies that will make professional profiles for you. These companies include Tone Junkie, Michael Britt, Top Jimmy, and others. And finally, the Kemper is a high-quality effects processor. Any effect you have in your pedal board can be found in the Kemper. This includes reverb, delay, overdrive, chorus, and more. And since the Kemper is digital, you can create presets that you can call up with the touch of a button or a tap of a foot switch. So the reasons why people choose to use the Kemper over an ordinary amp is because of the sound quality, the convenience, and the versatility. Now, the next question is, should you get a Kemper? Here's my advice. You should consider getting a Kemper if, number one, you don't mind spending money on a high-end piece of gear. Number two, only the highest quality amp tones will satisfy your critical ear. Number three, you don't mind reading a user manual and learning how to navigate the Kemper's digital interface. And number four, you plan to record and perform music by going direct to a computer or a PA system. Now, if you're still a beginner guitar player, I do not recommend that you get the Kemper Profiling Amplifier. Instead, you should get something that's less expensive and less complicated. I actually recommend that you get a small, low-powered practice amp that has a headphone output and an audio input, like, for example, the Yamaha THR. And after you get your practice amp, put your gear obsession on hold and focus on actually playing guitar and playing complete songs. If you need help, go to my website, guitarmusictheory.com. Answer the questions I ask you about your playing, and I'll send you free custom video instruction calibrated to your current level. Learn how to progressively play and sound better today in as little as 33 minutes. Click on the link in the video description right now and get enrolled in a free course. Well, thanks for watching. I'm Desi Cerna. If you own a Kemper, let me know how you would describe it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, click like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, then stay tuned for more.